Glad I got that out of the way. I'm not Triple H. I'm Larry's new wrestling podcast and stuff. Once again, we're back. We're here live in the ring of life. Once again, it's there, folks. I swear to you, it is there. I am here live in living color. Thank you for tuning in once again for another episode of the most interesting, unique fan perspective. I don't know why I was looking down. I was just in that thought process, because I'm learning my audience is out there, but sometimes I get lost in here. It's very scary, by the way. I get lost in there, and I know that sometimes it's disturbing, but usually it's okay. Anyways, the whole point is this. Is there a point? Yes, there is. We are here live in the ring of life. Thank you for tuning in to Larry's new wrestling podcast and stuff. Once again, this show is about maybe COVID 57, aka 19, hike, because we are dealing with it every single day. In society, you'll learn that not everything is promised to you. Not everything in life is guaranteed. But one thing I do know, I have an attitude of gratitude. I'm hoping and praying out there that you are also well. If your family is ill, I pray that they get better. If your friends are ill, if anyone you've lost, my condolences. This is a serious matter here in 2021 now. We're learning how to cope with a new world. We have a new, outlook, perspective. All these different things, the political realm, everything has changed, folks. But we're not going to get into negative talk here on the show. We are here to promote positivity, like the New Day. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a new day. I never liked that, but you know what? That's it. That's their gimmick. What's your gimmick? It worked for Kofi Kingston to become World Wrestling Federation champion, even though they squashed him with Brock Lesnar in 10 seconds. I thought that wasn't very nice. Nope, that wasn't very nice, folks. I was trying to do my George McFly, forgive me. That wasn't very nice. But you know what's important is that you realize that you're here today. You're blessed to be alive. For those here on Earth, on Mars, on whatever planet you're on, thank you for tuning in to Larry's new wrestling podcast and stuff. Because we do talk about more than just professional wrestling. But that's the main focus. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most phenomenal names in the history of professional wrestling, who didn't even achieve his heyday until his early 40s when he became the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. And I can tell you right now, self-high five. Hopefully you know I'm talking about DDP, the creator and founder of DDP Yoga, aka DDPY now. It's been rebranded. But the reason why is because Diamond Dallas Page even has a brand new Amazon Prime movie called Relentless. And it's a documentary film taking us through the steps of DDP Yoga evolving and even his wrestling career all in one movie, which brought a tear to my eye. That was a Ric Flair Royal Rumble speech, by the way. Folks, I can tell you, on this show, we're going to go, so please keep up. If not, we'll see you. Life moves pretty fast sometimes. If you blink, you might just miss it. Ferris Bueller. For those of you that understood that 1986 reference. Once again, we talk about old school wrestling. We talk about new school wrestling, unfortunately. But you know what? We also do something for you. We give you a perspective on what's going on in the world around us. The NFL, for example, the playoffs have arrived. Playoffs? Playoffs? For those that understood that playoff reference. Ha. Anyways, this is really weird for me to talk about this, but I'm not interested. I don't care about the NFL. Not because the world champion 49ers didn't make it this year. And I'm glad because I want them to get a better pick for next season. And hopefully a Levi's stadium full of people, not an empty stadium. That doesn't do it for me. I can't get into professional sports without a World Wrestling Federation crowd. It doesn't feel the same. That's why the current product even was lacking even before COVID. Now, what are we going to do about a crowd in 2021? So AEW, we can get a pop for Sting. You know what I mean? He's 61. Ow! And he's back in professional wrestling. DDP came back most recent as well in AEW. So these names are coming back. Goldberg is going to be at the Royal Rumble against Drew McIntyre, folks. Yes, you heard it here first. Maybe you have heard it already, but anyways, the whole point is this. Drew McIntyre, they had a legend show with the immortal Hulk Hogan. And if you watched our last podcast or heard it on iTunes, Spotify, because once again, folks, we need you to subscribe, by the way. YouTube, Larry's New Wrestling. That's all you need to type in the search, and there I am. The sexiness. Yes. Anyways, the whole point is this. YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. Please subscribe. Share it with family first, friends, complete strangers, and business contacts. Please. Without you, we can't accomplish as much as we're going to in 2021. We're going to have celebrity guests on here. Whatever. That's the other podcast, by the way. That's my other show. Whatever. The Larry Lawrence Podcast. Tune into that one. YouTube. Subscribe. Thank you, folks. We can't do it without you. Wrestlers cannot become the level of success without you buying their merch, rocking it, hats, John Cena bands. I mean, you name it. That's how they made themselves some money. Show me money. Anyways, the whole point is this. This is how we do it, folks. Through you, the audience, entertainment, Hollywood. Who's going to the movie theaters? I'm not. Who's watching Cobra Kai? I did. And I'm not going to spoil it for you. Kicks ass. You need to watch season 3 of Cobra Kai. Stranger Things, you can't come soon enough. I'm telling you right now, we look forward to possibly casting me. Anyways, but then let's continue to focus on this. What are we doing to make sure to entertain ourselves? Are we exercising? Are we staying fit? Are you going vegan? Go vegan. Sorry. See, Bird doesn't like it when I scream, but I have to. It's part of my show. But he can fix the audio levels. That's his job. Thank you, producer friend. Anyways, the whole point. I'm a co-producer. I say whatever. That's my other podcast. Let's breathe. Take a time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. That's a Miyagi reference. Because I love the original Karate Kid. If you've never watched the Karate Kid movies, the original with Ralph Macchio, not the reboot, even though Will Smith is a producer on Cobra Kai. And I'll tell you this much. When his kid played the Ralph Macchio role, I respect the fact that his Overbrook Entertainment brought this show to life. I believe it's through them too. And Netflix combined. And I'll tell you right now, started on YouTube Red. That was the original destination for Cobra Kai, but then they made money and it became gold. And everything's going to Netflix, folks. That's where the market is now. AMC going down. I got rid of my stock. AMC is not doing well. But what's doing good is Costco. That's a good wholesale store to invest in. Just saying. Just saying. Anyways, the whole point is this. If I could speak. Sorry, sometimes I get tongue-tied because I talk too fast. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathe, Larry. Communicate. Articulate. And maybe they'll tune in day after day, week after week, year after year on Larry's New Wrestling Podcast and stuff. So, folks, we are doing this for you. We are teaching you how to keep up with someone whose attention span is what? Anyways, the whole point is this. You need to keep up with yourselves and learn that there's so many ways to entertain in 2021. Not just through the internet watching this great show. You know, guys like Gary Vee, Jim Cornette, we supply you entertainment. And the reason why we do. And educate you on things about the ring of life. Our lives or whatever we make of it. I'm not going to do the whole thing now. It's because I have to save that for the end when I say bye-bye to everybody. The whole point of the send-off is to give you a message. A positive message. An attitude of gratitude. Remember that, folks. You can lose weight. I lost 50 pounds in 6 months, and I've been sober for over 2 years. And the reason why is because I want it. I want to change. I want things to go in the direction of forward. Because if you keep looking backwards at your old stand-up comedy, at your old performances, You're never going to be ready for your next performance. You're never going to be ready for that next audition if you dwell on the audition that you just left the room. Once you leave the room for an audition, I learned, don't ever think about that audition ever again, because it's done. It's in the past. So when you audition for your next job, I said audition because it could be an acting role, it could be a job at any company, any corporation. It could be your own business that you're going to evolve in your mind, and you're going to try to pitch it to someone to get investors. All this, like Larry's new wrestling podcast and stuff. If you have money, we'll take it. Just saying. So, folks, this is what we do here on the show. We give you an understanding of professional wrestling. For example, when your life was cheated from you, and I say cheated from you, is because you woke up one day and you're like, wow, life is good. And then the next day, you're gone. You didn't expect it to happen. No one does. For example, we just had a loss of professional wrestling by the name of Brody Lee, a.k.a. John Huber. John Huber, age 41. Yes, I said 41, folks. He passed away from a lung condition. That's what we were told. A lung condition. He was not on TV for recently on AEW. He was designated the leader of the Dark Order, a group of, I guess you could say, underground style wrestlers. They really haven't been given an identity, but AEW is also having trouble finding ways to give you understanding of storyline and how some things evolve because the writing there isn't there. They said they're not going to write, and it's showing, but you have to evolve characters, and he just kind of came out of nowhere. There was a guy with a mask who was semi the leader, and then all of a sudden he becomes the exalted one. We thought it was going to be Matt Hardy, but it ended up being Mr. formerly known as Luke Harper from the Wyatt family. Now this gentleman has a distinctive look, like with a white beater looking thing, a white tank top. That's what we called him back in the day, by the way. Anyways, a white tank top and dirty jeans, and he was from this very dysfunctional, crazy family called the Wyatt family, led by Bray Wyatt. He was one of the followers, if you will. And he had a very great look. So did, the whole group. Bearded, just like Duck Dynasty on steroids, essentially. I never liked that show. Anyways, I mean, come on. Really? Rich from that? Whatever. That's my other podcast. Folks, this is what's going to happen. If you can't keep up with me, you're going to get left behind. Just like Bobby the Brain Heenan said, if you listen to me, you go to the top. If you don't listen to me, you're never heard from ever again. He said it better. I was trying to deliver it in my own way. It sucked. That's why I'm not Bobby the Brain Heenan, but I am the Wrestling Encyclopedia. Folks, I'll tell you right now, my knowledge of wrestling from a gentleman who's watched since the age of 7 or 8, and I'll tell you right now, I really may have watched even at 6 or 7, but I didn't really get into it until about WrestleMania 2, Chicago, New York, LA, King Kong Bundy, Hulk Hogan. I remember that's when I started to fall in love with this genre, with this art, with this sport, aka sports entertainment, where injuries do take place, death takes place, paralysis takes place, and you're never the same ever again with permanent hearing damage. And the reason why, And the reason why is we love the sport. We are passionate about it. It motivated us to pursue a Hollywood career. Even you utilize characters in high school. Woo! You would take choke slams from your best friend because you wanted to entertain. You would take a pratfall. I fall on my face, cushioned it like the Nature Boy did in the ring on cement. And if I did concuss myself, oh well, what happened? I'm just saying, this is what I did because I love the sport of professional wrestling. Wrestlers of today have to call it sports entertainment. No, they don't. It is entertainment, predetermined winners and losers, but the art of making sure to put on a performance that is correct, a performance to show you bad guy versus good guy. Maybe a heel turn to a babyface is the good guy, a babyface to a heel, okay, the bad guy. Not like Razor Ramon, that bad guy. Hey, yo. Or Big Daddy Cold Diesel. Brr. Anyways, that was a very bad horn. Brr. Sorry, Kevin. Mr. Nash. Anyways, the whole point is this. The whole effing show will tell you. Hardcore wrestling is also an element that no other genre will ever be able to say. It used barbed wire. It used extreme conditions in a bingo hall environment to bring the art of wrestling to a hardcore level, which I'd never seen before. That's why in the 90s, hardcore wrestling was huge. But I'll tell you right now, the reason why we're speaking about someone who gave their blood, sweat, and tears and was cheated, I would say, cheated out of a longer career. Whatever reason Brody Lee passed away, we accept. There's been steroid abuse. There's been all kinds of ways that people have passed away in this genre. But this gentleman who left a great family, memories. Amanda, his wife, and his two kids, Brody and Nolan. And I'll tell you right now, there was a presentation done at AEW, did lovely, giving that kid a chance to come in the ring with his mask on and be a part of the Dark Order. 8-year-old kid was flexing, was happy to be there. Took me back to when this 8-year-old kid lost his grandfather due to a robbery at a liquor store. He was murdered by 3 gentlemen who were not of African American descent, by the way. So stop thinking that everyone bad is a certain color. And I can tell you right now, my grandfather influenced me, and he's watching over me as I do this show. And so is my dad, who did not like wrestling. Why do you watch this garbage? This color. For those of you who speak Arabic, you understand. Anyways, this stuff is not for me, is what my dad was saying. But he did tell me that he did see Andre the Giant live in Iraq, which tells me my dad kind of liked it. He just didn't understand it. Maybe if we had hung out more, but he passed away when I was 21. But I'll tell you right now, he passed away, but he still lives in here, and he's always around me. So we have a love-hate relationship in wrestling. And I love my grandfather and I love my dad for giving me so much. All my friends and family who have gone. And this reason, Brody Lee leaves a legacy, even though he didn't live a long life. A lung condition, not COVID, by the way, that took his life. And I can tell you right now, we don't know, did he smoke? Was it lung cancer? We don't know. But we do know this. His in-ring performances were top-notch. Great look. I could have seen this guy as a heavyweight champion heel. I could have. And I did. Because he became the TNT champion. And maybe he dropped the belt because he was not doing well, health-wise. But then you have the polar opposite, Danny Hodge, 88 years old, one of the greatest professional wrestlers in the history of wrestling. Danny Hodge passed away from Perry, Oklahoma. And Perry, Oklahoma brought to life not just a wrestler, but an Olympian, freestyle wrestler, and amateur boxer and pro boxer both, who retired from boxing in 1959. And he was a silver medal winner at the 1956 Olympics. And I'll tell you right now, folks, I learned a little bit about Danny Hodge by doing research. He was 17-0 as an amateur, meaning Floyd Mayweather. You should have fought him. But unfortunately, you're not of that era. And that's lucky for you, Floyd, because I guarantee you probably would have kicked your ass. I'm sorry, I'm a hater. I don't like money, especially when he punched the Big Show in the nose. You should have squashed him at WrestleMania. Anyways, am I venting? Yes. A pro boxer, 8-2. Okay? Retired in 1959 from boxing. And in the beginnings of his wrestling career, he made $80,000 a year. Folks, back in the 50s and 60s, that was bank. I'm rich, bitch! Far from Dave, Mr. Chappelle. And he was the NWA champion, folks, making money. Junior heavyweight champion. Bret the Hitman Hart even said, that he's one of the greatest of all time. And that's coming from the one I grew up watching, my generation. I didn't watch Danny Hodge, but I do know at age 88, he lived a full life. He had a great career. He was honored by good old JR, or vice versa. They honored JR too. And he was there because he's from Oklahoma. In 2005 and 2012, he was on Monday Night Raw. So the World Wrestling Federation even acknowledged him, aka WWE Entertainment. So, folks, he's in the 2008 National Wrestling Hall of Fame. Okay? That's when he was enshrined, in 2008. So he lost some great ones. And we lost someone that could have been even greater than he had the chance. So we will miss you, Brody Lee, aka John Huber and Danny Hodge. Thank you for your blood, sweat, and tears in the element that we love to watch. We don't physically wear and tear like you did, but you gentlemen did for us. Leaving behind legacies that will be enshrined forever on the WWE Network or wherever on YouTube, wherever you can find their matches, watch them. Show them that you didn't forget them. All the greats that have left us. Ravishing Rick Rude. Okay? These are Owen Hart. The late greats of our generation and even prior. The Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. All these, Gorgeous George. All these greats. Okay? Bruno Sammartino. Ray Stevens. You need to research pro wrestling, folks. Old school wrestling. The AWA. Speaking of, that's what we're going to talk about, our current focus point. Self high five, Larry. Once again, Diamond Dallas Page. You saw this in the late 90s on t-shirts, everywhere in the mall, folks, because it was one of the hottest symbols in the late 90s in WCW. And I'll tell you why. And the reason why is because of a gentleman by the name of Diamond Dallas Page. And this gentleman, whose real name is Page, folks, he gave to us something special. He was the manager with the long mullet hair. I said it, mullet hair and dangling earrings of the late 80s, early 90s, the AWA, where he was managing good old Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig. He wasn't known as Mr. Perfect, he was Curt Hennig of the famous Hennig family. Larry the Axe Hennig, and I believe his father, were also all professional wrestlers. Folks, I can tell you right now, this is why we love wrestling. Or I could be wrong, but definitely Larry the Axe Hennig was his father. Didn't watch many of his matches, but Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig, very well-known name, he, I believe, made a phone call and made things happen too for Mr. Diamond Dallas Page. They discovered him also in the bars, in the strip club scene, the nightclub scene. He was doing it all, folks. He was living the rock star life. And these wrestlers would come in, and of course he'd be buddy-buddy with them. He would see them, and eventually he made his way with Eric Bischoff into WCW, aka the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance back in the day. This gentleman was a great manager, but who would have thunk that he would become David Arquette was heavyweight champion around that same time. But anyways, I digress. The whole point is this. He said he loved it. Diamond Dallas Page said it was an interesting time too. He supported it. I mean, this gentleman got in the ring with Jay Leno, who got in the ring at Spring Stampede along with Karl Malone. Now, Karl Malone, I can see. Jay Leno, really? But it made sense. Eric Bischoff was smart, and Diamond Dallas Page was smart, and they agreed. This was great for the wrestling business. This was what took mainstream wrestling in the late 90s to a whole nother level. So why wouldn't this gentleman leave wrestling and start a whole new program that has changed people's lives, taking them from near handicap to running, I just felt like running. I've seen the proof on his infomercials. I've seen the proof in his documentary film Relentless, Diamond Dallas Page, DDP Yoga has revolutionized wrestling because it helped Chris Jericho lose weight, even though he gained it back now. But I can tell you right now, it's never too late. I have a mirror right here in my place, and I have a mirror that shows me that my grandmother for Christmas told me I was no longer fat. I have changed. I'm not vegan yet, but go vegan! And I'll tell you right now, I'm trying. And I don't just try, I will actually do it. In 2021, we're already in the new year. Sometimes it takes a minute to compute. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Anyways, the whole point is this. See, folks, we're live. We're living like color. Anything's possible here in the World Wrestling Federation, even hiccups. Folks, I'll tell you right now, what I can say from the heart, that Diamond Dallas Page is one of my motivational inspirations. I can say that I was doing this in the late 90s. Bang! Okay, that was his thing. And it became everyone's thing. The king of bada bing, bada bang, bada bing, bada bang, bada bing, ding, ding. Anyways, Diamond Dallas Page transitioned from Diamond Stud manager Scott Hall. Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon, he in the early 90s had change of gimmick after gimmick after gimmick until finally became Scott Hall. Okay, Razor Ramon, Kevin Nash, Diesel jumped ship to WCW, and Diamond Dallas Page transitioned from manager to wrestler. That in itself, folks, at the WCW power plant, that in itself, with American Dean Dusty Rose, if you will, believing in Diamond Dallas Page and making sure he became a mainstream wrestler. I was a Chic manager. Now, someday, you never say never, but I would prefer just to talk because the amount of body aching, I took bumps in the ring, trust me. I did train, and it hurt. So for Diamond Dallas Page to go from the guy that interferes on the outside of the ring to an actual wrestler is a whole different ball game, folks. It's taking your game from this level to like, and wrestling guys like the Nature Boy, woo, Ric Flair, okay? He had such an amazing feud with the Macho Man Randy Savage in the late 90s. You can't touch those matches. DDP and Randy Savage had some of the most amazing matches. Watch them on the WWE Network. Subscribe, as I do, because I love watching old school wrestling. When we loved it, folks, when we enjoyed it, when we tuned into WWF versus WCW, Monday Night Raw versus Monday Nitro. That wasn't Monday Night Nitro. See, it didn't roll off the tongue. Monday Nitro with the Flames. Anyways, I can't do their music. It was. You just have to watch it with the tires screeching, and then the sewer thing popping. Anyways, and it evolved eventually. But Monday Nitro on TNT versus WWE on whatever network they were on, because they kept jumping around. Monday Night Raw was the ticket, folks. I spent money. I went to both shows. Mostly Nitro, though. I was traveling to Vegas. I was watching DDP. I was watching him evolve into something that I was inspired by. Because the manager, which I remember, and don't forget, at WrestleMania 6, he was the man who drove the pink Cadillac. It's a honky-tonk, man. It's a honky-tonk. See, folks, you get all kinds of information right here. And at age 64, he is the creator and founder of DDP. Why? Diamond Dallas Page has evolved into a yoga. He started out marketing as it's not your mama's yoga or something in that regard. It's something that's not yoga. That's the typical yoga, wearing spandex and stretching and, your ass, you're just staring at people's ass. I've done yoga once. I've done hot yoga. And I can tell you, I was just amazed by the gymnastic ability of the women. I was quite distracted. And I didn't wear spandex. My cousin said I could just wear shorts. Anyways, hot yoga. We sweat. But DDP Yoga, which he went on Shark Tank, folks. He literally went on Shark Tank to pitch it to these rich individuals to get investing money, and they did. And they made a great decision because he was spending 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 of his own hard-earned money to build this brand. After retiring from wrestling, he found something, a niche, something that could help people, and also was helping him find work and not just sitting on the shelf and becoming like The Wrestler. The movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. It's a real hardcore movie, folks. Watch the movie with Mickey Rourke. He is so amazing in that movie. And you'll be amazed, not just at The Wrestler, but you'll be amazed at Relentless. Okay? Because DDP was relentless in his wrestling career. He was relentless in his ability to overcome adversity. Because they didn't think he would become a wrestler. He was held back. But no, he wanted it. He made sure of it, that he became a heavyweight champion of the world 3 times, folks. And I'll tell you right now, when he transitioned to WWE during the Invasion time frame, they missed it. They could have taken Diamond Dallas Page and they put him in a feud with The Undertaker, making him like the stalker of his current wife, Sarah, at the time. They didn't utilize DDP the way they should have. I mean, this guy was on a whole different level in WCW. He had a rivalry with the NWO. One man against a group of thugs. And he would give him the diamond cutter. And he would, peace! And we would just go crazy for him. Because this man was taking on a gang of thugs led by Hulk Hogan and succeeding and doing it with one thing in mind: self-high five. And guess what he did, folks? One-man wrecking machine. He took on a group of thugs and succeeded. He never jumped ship to the NWO when many others from WCW did. But he did not. He did not. He held his ground. And he said, I'm going to be my own brand. And he successfully turned that into something in 2021 called Relentless, an Amazon Prime movie that I recommend all of you watch. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, subscribe to Amazon Prime for 30 days, free trial, and cancel. Duh! And it's free, and you get to watch the movie. I subscribe to things as a businessman, and I tell you right now, write it off for tax. Okay. You're welcome. See, folks, you learn so much stuff because it's and stuff. But see, my business partner says it won't matter until you're making the big money. I got to get rid of those receipts. Whatever. That's my other podcast. Folks, Diamond Dallas Page proved to all of us here, as the fan, anything's possible. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Ask George, or ask Marty, or vice versa. Back to the Future, another great movie. Forrest Gump, Star Wars. Watch these movies, folks. The Karate Kid. Watch the Yosh. Some people don't like that noise. I do. Anyways, we've done a very good thing today, folks. We survived another day. God rest your soul, John Huber. God rest your soul, Danny Hodge. All the greats of wrestling, all the family and friends that are watching over us today in 2021 and beyond. The angels, whatever you believe in, let's just coexist as we evolve into a presidency and a world of forever change in the ring of life. And folks, as we send you off, and I tell you this, please subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. Realize that we do this for you day after day, week after week, year after year. We have a new microphone, so I don't have to scream anymore. But I do want to tell you something from the heart. Thank you for tuning in. TikTok, subscribe, Larry's New Wrestling Podcast, and stuff. Instagram, Facebook, Larry's New Wrestling Podcast, and stuff. Thank you for the likes of our page, but thank you for the friend requests. But please, I beg of you, just subscribe because we want to break record numbers. We want to get special guests for you. We want investors. We want people to love us, to take our game in 2021 and beyond to the next level. Let's hope someday that we all can find our dreams, our goals, our aspirations, and not just dream about them, but make them a reality. But it's up to you folks. What are you doing in 2021 and beyond? Go vegan! Seabird came out of nowhere. Go vegan. Do it for yourself. Plant-based food is great. Okay? Kurt Angle's company, Physically Fit. Great nutritional supplement. Use it. I do. Continuously believe in yourself that your grandmother will say you're not fat. Thanks, Granny. AKA BB. I tell you right now, folks, we're doing it for you. Love you, folks. Now, as we send you off with my cousin's music, I give you one thing. Thank you. Well, that's more than one thing. Thank you again. Once again, folks. Love you all. I'm leaving. I swear to you. But before I go, our life is whatever we make of it. Just go out there into the world today and do me a great big favor. Just a big one. Not just for me. Do it for yourself. Make sure you make it a great one. Every day is a blessing. So don't take it for granted. And we will get to our destination together. All right? Love you all. All right? And we're going to see you soon. I promise. And if you don't see me, watch the old episodes and subscribe. Love you all. Peace in the Mideast, slugfest in the West, and I'm out. Death Row. No. Oh, Snoop Dogg, AEW. He splashed someone. I'm sorry, I have to focus on that. Snoop Dogg went from the top rope and he splashed him. Dude, go on YouTube, find it, wherever you can find it. Just remember, Death Row, Snoop Dogg. Anyways, some people don't like me. I love it. Personally, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Watch my other podcast called Whatever. We talk about whatever. All right, subscribe. I've been talking too long. All right, deuces. We're out. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye now.